So one of the exciting things that Schoology offers us is the ability to develop question banks. And then the question banks can be used in a couple of different ways. So here I have a quiz and it says SAMR quiz. I'm going to reassess based on maybe that earlier quiz that we did in Schoology training that was related to SAMR. So when I go in to edit my questions and I add a question, I'm not adding questions directly. I'm going to add them from a question bank I've already developed. And the first thing you have to do is decide, do you want individual questions or random questions? Individual is how I set up the first quiz. Everybody had the same questions and it was very structured like a traditional quiz. Random questions allows us to use a feature of Schoology where it's going to pull questions from the question bank randomly. We can tell it how many to pick and it's just going to grab them from there and make a quiz for our students. So each student might get a slightly different quiz. That's wonderful for reassessment where you're struggling maybe to find new quizzes every time. Well, if we can randomize the questions a bit, that really makes this function a lot more smoothly. Now, my question bank is developed as a group resource. So I'm going to select group on the left column. It was in a group that we had for Schoology training. And then here you can see there's my question bank. It has a little puzzle piece for the quiz, and I identified it as a question bank when I named it. And so the last step here is that I'm adding random questions and I can tell it how many. And it reminds me I have 16 questions in my bank. And I'm going to have it pull four randomly and make them 1 point apiece. And so at this point, I can't see those questions. It'll be randomized for every student. So there's nothing I can do here. Just to show you what it would look like if we did that with individual questions, go back to my group, back to my Schoology training. Here's my question bank. Now I can select individual questions so I can see their text and I can go through and choose which one I would like to use on the assessment. Here, if you've changed your mind and you decide I'm going to auto select a certain number of questions, you can also jump right in here and set that as well. The other thing you can do is set your points. So we'll make 1 point per question on this, and I'm going to select a few questions from the list. And you can see when I add those questions, they're going to pop up here as individual questions. Whereas the first time I added 4 questions, they were randomized, so I can't see the questions. I won't know that. It'll change every time a kid takes a quiz. So this is a way that we can use question banks to set up a quiz. You can see you can have a blend of random questions and selected questions. And you can use it for a variety of ways to support your assessment needs in the classroom, whether it be a formative assessment or maybe a reassessment on a summative assignment.